And I love talking about peace because I know that we live in a world that desperately needs it. We all need more peace, especially like as I've been thinking about it, this rapidly like digitizing and isolating world. I read about it on headlines every day of AI advancing further and further and further, which unlocks unbelievable potential, and it's amazing. Like I'm super excited to see what AI does, but also super scared because ever since the world started to dive into deeper technology, uh, it's become more isolated. And I think you feel that too. Like for folks, I mean, let me know in the comments below. But if you're feeling that isolation of a digitizing world, let me know because I feel it, and I don't think I'm the only one who feels that. And it sucks. Like so, like the question then becomes like, how do we find peace in the midst of that? Because like it's so easy just to get anything and everything delivered to our doorstep with one click of a button. Like we really don't have a need to go outside into the outside world, and we can stay isolated in our own kind of little bubbles. And when we do that, like we miss out on relationship, and that's what we most desperately need in order to live peaceful lives is relationship. So um, I start there just because I was like a little side tangent. That's what I was thinking about. Like it's so easy to get lost in today's world as we do hear about the continued like rapidly growing AI. And like one thing that it can never replace is humans. AI can never replace humans. Can never replace our need for a relationship. So let's talk about peace. Let's talk about why we're here, why we're doing 30 days of peace. Yesterday we introduced the hardest topic, that of um, what was the hardest topic? That of abandoning ourselves. And now we have to understand, like, when God asks for everything, he doesn't necessarily take everything. Jacques Philippe makes that very clear in this reflection of day 6 of his, or chapter 6, day 13 here, that we're in on this journey towards peace. And it's this reality that God doesn't take everything when we abandon ourselves to him. He doesn't take it all. Hello, friend. Thank you for joining us live and being here. As we're talking about peace, we want to find what's the quickest road to peace. What's the quickest road to peace? And it's abandonment to divine providence. What does that mean? What does abandonment to divine providence mean? It means like trusting that we have a father who's going to take care of us, trusting that there's a father out there who got this. And that's really hard for us, really hard for a number of reasons, because of our relationship with our own earthly fathers, because of our relationship with other people, that we can actually trust that somebody is watching out for us. But that's the quickest road to peace, is like actually trusting that somebody is there in our corner watching us, looking out for us, loving us through the good moments and the bad moments. That's important stuff. And it's hard. It's not easy. And one of the things that I really want to encourage folks to think about is that, like, when God asks for everything, he means everything. That was the hard thing that we talked about yesterday. You can go back to yesterday's video and look at that. But he doesn't take everything, right? He doesn't take it all. Sometimes maybe he does. So, like, right, that's the life of the martyrs. So if you're out there and studying the lives of the saints of the church history, like, sure, God, God will take it all at times, but that's in His providence, like what He sees best for that person. But for us, like, sometimes it's like I want it all, like just as an act of trust. We look at Abraham in the Bible. God asked for Abraham's son, right, Isaac. Will you do this? And then what does he do? He spares Isaac and puts a ram there for him to be able to sacrifice instead of his son. And then he blesses Abraham with a whole religion. And the same thing with us. Now that he's going to bless us with a whole religion, and like that we're all going to have like the same kind of following as Abraham, but he will bless that decision to trust everything to him. And like, why are we talking about this? Because it's the closest or the fastest road to peace, is like to abandon ourselves here in this present moment to the Lord, to give him what we have, what we're dealing with. And It's tough. It's tough stuff. So, like I was saying earlier in the video today, we live in a rapidly digitized world where we keep growing separate and apart from people. And I feel that. And I want to know in the comments below if that's what you feel too, where, like, it's great. I love technology, but at the same time, we can feel isolated more and more and more. And that's why I feel like this topic of peace is so important, because it's only through relationship that we actually find that peace and move away from this digitized world, move away from this isolated world and into real relationship, which we're all made for. And I think we all know that to some degree. It's like written in our hearts that we need relationship. But it's like becoming harder and harder to actually see how we actually get that, and it sucks. Like that's like the tactic of the enemy, and it steals away from our peace. It steals away from so many things, and it's like no, actually, we really truly need some peace. So let me know in the comments below, like how are you feeling that isolation, and whether that's here live. I see there's a number of people, 16 people, which is a number for me, but a small amount for some YouTubers. But like, let me know in the comments below what that is like for you, the struggle to find peace, and what would you like that to look like. And I'll keep following along because we're talking about this day one or day 13, and we'll be picking it back up tomorrow. So thank you guys for those who liked, those who followed, those who subscribed. Join us next week tomorrow, and we'll be live again. God bless.